Now, the members of parliament have called out President William Ruto. Came in with good promises that were going to fix CPC. There was a commission that was put in place to gather views and reviews of the current status of the CPC system. But we've seen exactly what parents have been doing. Parents have been finding ways to pay schools to register their students or their actually pupils for Class 8 examinations to run away from CBC. Now, yesterday, members of parliament, and you will see, majority of them, by the way, are allied to Kenya Kwanza. They said, here's the thing, you gotta fix CBC now, or we go back to the 844 system. One of the many things that seemingly aren't going as per promise when this administration was coming into place. Good morning. My name is Simba Kiage. Ian Keitany, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Simba. Like always, it's a very, very good morning. And like you say, President William Ruto has been put to task.
Yes.
This comes at a time when the Azimio la Umoja leader, or Azimio One Kenya Alliance party leader, Raila Odinga, has given an ultimatum of 14 days, of which, if what is insisted must be done within a span of 2 weeks will not be done, then the coalition and with Kenyans, like he says, will engage, will have to go, rather will go on mass action. Now, depends on what mass action really means, but it's a wait and see. What will happen? What will the government do? But in regards to that as well, President William Ruto fired salvo back at Raila Odinga, saying that he will not be threatened, neither will the Kenyans be. So yes, it's a game of what you say against what I say. You say this, you threaten me, or whatever you say, I will answer straight back. So, like you always say, Kenya is a country that politics is the order of the day. We'll see who runs the show, and of course, what will happen in the next couple of weeks. And if, really or truly, the Azimio One Kenya coalition will walk the talk and go to the streets for the mass action, if at all. Raila, by the way, says the subsidies must be restored, that is on food and education. He also says that the reconstitution of the IEBC must be halted to ensure that all sides of the political divide are heard. If that will not be done, well, Raila Odinga, soldier, or rallies troops to the streets for mass action. Your guess is as good as mine. Time will tell. Simba.
Indeed, I will tell you, there's just a lot again that has been put on the spot again in the way that the Kenya Kwanza administration is running its affairs. But the man who never keeps quiet has again spoken. Yesterday, the DP said, look here, the president is the leader of Kenyans. I am not the leader of Kenyans. I am a Kenya Kwanza leader. In fact, he said, I'm a UDA official. So I'll keep on fighting for the interests of the UDA in this administration. Let Dr. President William Ruto lead Kenyans. I'm not. So do not expect much of me. Again, we ask, rogue or a joker? Keitany, quickly before we take a tiny break here, who does the DP represent?
I mean, you see, the deputy president is the first and official assistant to the president. So when he says he's not leading Kenyans, he is the leader of the United Democratic Alliance or the Kenya Kwanza coalition, it leaves a lot to be desired. When you speak, are you speaking on behalf of the party, or are you speaking on behalf of the government? Because you are in power. So day by day, and like you say, every day there's something new from Rigiji himself. Like he says, the man who speaks the truth. Nothing but the truth, he says. So we'll be used to it, I guess.
Tell you that. That plus many more that is going to follow up today. And in fact, today, even as the green light for the importation of free duty maize, and that is GMO, then officially kicks on, we'll be telling you what the government hasn't told you. That discussion coming up shortly right here on The Morning Drift. For now, we take a tiny breather. Once I come back, I'll be taking you straight to the newsroom. We'll get to share with you some of the biggest stories that are taking center stage in the country this morning. Good morning. Good morning. The opposition coalition, Azimio, has issued a 14-day ultimatum to President Ruto's government with a raft of demands. Among other things, Azimio are demanding that the cost of living and tax significantly come down. They are also demanding that the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission servers for the August 9th election be opened and audited by a reputable firm. And as a reporter home returned in our files, the coalition father wants the process of reconstituting IEBC stopped immediately and have threatened to hold countrywide mass action.
For another time, Jivanji Gardens at the heart of capital city Nairobi played host to Azimio Coalition Brigade. The opposition group comprising of Raila Odinga, Martha Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Jeremiah Kioni among others were here to pray for the electoral justice and the nation at large. After the prayers, politics of the day took center stage. Raila Odinga leading the opposition coalition in issuing demands to President William Ruto. Demands they say must be met in the next 14 days. Among a raft of demands before the head of state, Azimio want the cost of living addressed and prices of basic commodities like maize flour, petrol, electricity, milk reduced significantly. They are also demanding that education and food subsidies must be returned. In addition, they want a significant reduction in taxes. To establish what transpired in the August 9th election, which they maintain they won, the opposition group are demanding that IEBC servers be opened and audited by a reputable firm. Lastly, they want the reconstitution of IEBC with new commissioners be stopped immediately to allow consultation from all stakeholders. And if their demands are not met,
if these demands are not heeded, within 14 days, we shall lead Kenyans to massive action and to mass action across the country to get their power back and restore sanity.
Hatuombi, tunatoa sauti kama wananchi wa Kenya. We, the people, tunasema ifanyike. Isipofanyika tutaifanya sisi wenyewe.
Recent statement by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua likening Kenya to a company that has Kenya Kwanza as majority shareholders and Azimio as the least shareholders was met by harsh criticisms from Azimio team.
Kenya inaenda vibaya, wananchi wanapata shida, hata wanasema sasa tuna makampuni ambao Wakenya wengine ni matajiri na wengine maskini kwa sababu ya mambo ya makampuni.
Bei ya unga imeenda kupanda zaidi. Wiki hii unga itapanda mpaka shilingi 220. Wiki ijao unga itapanda mpaka shilingi 250. Ile mambo ambayo inaendelea sasa baba ni kwamba millers wale ambao walilete mahindi hawezi kuaccess hiyo mahindi directly, wananunua kwa majambazi ambao wanasema wanashika serikali.
Hata kama wewe hukupiga kura kwa Azimio, wewe ni Mkenya. Hata kama wewe hukupiga kura yoyote, wewe ni Mkenya. Kwa Kenya, Mkenya ana haki ya kupata huduma kwa serikali. Unaki kila Mkenya mkubwa ambaye anafanya kazi anatoa ushuru.
Azimio also pointing fingers at President William Ruto, accusing him of harassing leaders who were key allies of retired President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Juzi wanaenda kumtesa bwana Matiang'i. Alafu sasa wanaanza kutesa wakili Dansan Omari. Ameandikia barua na DCI ata wanafanya uchunguzi kwake. Atatakana kesho afike pale kwa DCI kufanya uchunguzi. Huyo ni wakili ambaye anafanya kazi yake ya wakili. Tunataka kuambia hawa wachana na Matiang'i na wachana na Dansan Omari.
Henry Tende, Lookuptv.
President William Ruto has called out the Azimio coalition to give his administration enough time to lower the cost of living. As a reporter, Shadrach Kareria reports, Ruto accused the opposition leader Raila Odinga over the planned Azimio mass action in 14 days.
Political waves have continued to take over the state of the country's economy as both the government and the opposition continues to rub against each other. President William Ruto, during the launch of the Nairobi River Cleaning Project, responding to the attack from the Azimio One Kenya party leader Raila Odinga.
Tunaelewana. Na mimi nataka niwaambie wale ndugu zetu watulize boli. Watulize boli.
Ruto accused Raila Odinga of spreading threats and impunity, stating that will not fall to it.
Tunaelewana. Na wasituuzie uoga. Sisi sio watu wa kuuziwa uoga. Tunaelewana.
While responding to Odinga's demands that will spearhead mass action should the cost of living remain high after the next 14 days.
If these demands are not heeded, within 14 days, we shall lead Kenyans to massive action and to mass action across the country to get their power back and restore sanity.
President Ruto dismissed Odinga's sentiment, asking him to give his administration enough time.
Nataka niwaambie wale majamaa, nyinyi mulikuwa na miaka 5 ya handshake na mambo yenu. Bei ya unga ikafika shilingi 230. Saa hii tumeteremusha imefika 180. Watupatie nafasi itakuja 140. Watupatie nafasi itakuja 120. Wawache kimbelembele walikuwa na nafasi yao wakaharibu.
While defending himself, Ruto accused the opposition of being behind the high cost of living.
Mimi nataka niwaambie wale majamaa. Nawaambia wale majamaa walituacha na madeni kibao. Karibu nchi yetu iteleze ingie mahali ambapo ya kukwama. Saa hizi tumeanza kupunguza madeni. Katika budget ya mwaka huu tumepunguza bilioni 300 ya madeni. Hata wale walikuwa wametufungia katika masoko ya kitaifa, katika international financial institutions, saa hizi hata interest rate ambayo ilikuwa imefika 17%, saa hizi tumeteremusha imefika less than 10% kwa ile soko ya kimataifa.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was among the top leaders who accompanied the head of state.
Na yeye akiwa kiongozi wa nchi ataendelea hiyo kazi. Na mimi nikiwa kiongozi wa UDA naendelea kushughulikia watu ya UDA, naye rais anashughulikia watu ya Kenya.
Shadrach Kareria, Lookuptv.
Yes, when you look at the functions of the deputy president, they're quite clear. The president gives you a mandate. So is that DP Gachagua saying, well, look here, I would not be doing it because I want to serve UDA. Your views. President William Ruto has announced a plan to restore the glory of the Nairobi River. The Nairobi River Commission, which is tasked with coordinating the cleanup of the Nairobi River and its environs, will be spearheaded by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua.
Hii mpango ya Nairobi Rivers Commission. Kwanza nataka niwapongeze vijana wengi sehemu nyingi katika mji wetu wa Nairobi kwa ile kazi tayari wanafanya kusafisha mito yetu ya Nairobi. Ile takataka wanaokota na ile kazi yote wanafanya ili kufanya mji wetu wa Nairobi iwe ni mji msafi. Mimi nataka niwaeleze wote ya kwamba tutafanya kazi pamoja na nyinyi. This commission, as I have said, has not come to replace any stakeholder who is doing something at the moment about the cleaning and greening of our city. But we have come to complement, we have come to collaborate, we have come to accelerate so that we can achieve this in a shorter time by involving everybody.
5 people accused of stealing 20 boxes of urine specimen containers from the Ministry of Health, but today arraigned in court to answer to charges of felony. But the comedian Eric Omondi, alongside 16 others, were also charged and released on a bail. Keitany with stories from the courts of the corridor of justice.
The 5 Humphrey Magui, John Kiema, Anthony Misheru, Paul Karanja and Wanjiru Gituku appeared before Chief Magistrate Lucas Onyina at the Milimani Law Courts, where they are accused of committing the crime on 21st of February in Kilimani area. However, the 5 denied those claims, urging the court to release them on bail. Kiema, Misheru and Karanja were also charged with an alternative count of handling stolen goods.
The case is allocated to court number 4 and mentioned before court 4 for the trial on 7th of March.
Elsewhere, outspoken comedian Eric Omondi and 16 other content creators were today arraigned and charged with unlawful assembly along Parliament Road, demonstrating against the high cost of living.
To release them, their personal bond.
Through their lawyer, Dunstan Omari, the 17 claim that freedom of assembly is enshrined in the Constitution, with the judge releasing them on a 10,000 bail.
So each of the 18 accused persons is granted bond of Kenya shillings 20,000 with one surety of the same amount, with an alternative cash bail of Kenya shillings 10,000 with a contact person. And the matter will be mentioned for pre-trial before this court, that is court 1, on 6th of March.
Keitany, Lookuptv.
Members of Parliament have supported the amendment of the coffee regulations, taking a swipe at the former Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya for the woes of the coffee farmers. And members of Parliament insisted that regulations are hurting farmers, urging the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture, Mithika Linturi, to ensure farmers get what they deserve.
In the last regime, Honorable Speaker, there was gross abuse of delegated legislation. And regulations, Honorable Speaker, are being enacted and being given the force of law without having the force of law. Honorable Speaker, we don't need to be neuroscientists to know that these are cartels that have ensured that coffee farmers in this country do not enjoy the sweat of their labor. Honorable Speaker, members may wish to visit Sharia House and check who are the shareholders of new KPCU. And you'll be shocked. The former minister who was the author, the Honorable Peter Munya, who was the author of these regulations, had registered himself as a shareholder of new KPCU.
Coffee should be seen as gold in this country. Madam Speaker, coffee is the heritage of this country. When you go out there, you are told of how high the quality of the Kenyan coffee is. So high that it is not even used in its raw form. It is used as a blend for coffees from around the world. But Madam Speaker, the blood, sweat, tears of the farmers have gone unrewarded for over 60 years, Madam Speaker.
In my constituency, Manyata constituency, Honorable Speaker, we have depended on coffee all our lives. We have closed factories since the 90s. Some areas used to be very rich, but these days, Honorable Speaker, people are actually languishing in poverty because of lack of good prices for coffee. Honorable Speaker, I want to welcome with open arms the annulment of this draconian law that was passed.
Let's move on. The Catholic faithful's denomination all over the world gathered in their churches for Ash Wednesday, which marks the beginning of the Lent season, which is meant to be a season of prayer and repentance, so as to draw them closer to God. Phoebe Wangombe with a full story.
Today marks the beginning of the Lent season among the Catholic faithfuls all over the world, which is, according to the calendar of Christians, a season that is marked by Ash Wednesday. According to the Catholic doctrine, the holy days are believed to be days faithfuls get closer to God by abstaining from all the bad habits. They also abstain from specific foods, namely meat and dairy.
Ningependa kuchukua nafasi hii kuwatakia Wakristo wote wakati mwema wakati huu wa Kwaresma ambao umeanza rasmi siku hii ya Jumatano ya Majifu.
It is a season that takes place 46 days before Easter Sunday, which normally marks the end of Lent. At this period, Christians spend most of their time in prayer and repentance, as they also pray for the needy. They use purple or violet decorations, which are a sign of repentance and humility. According to Father James Kimango of the Catholic Diocese of Nyahururu Mary Immaculate Cathedral Parish, the 40-day fasting signifies the remembrance of the tribulations that Jesus faced in the wilderness.
Kipindi hiki cha Kwaresma huwa kina ishara ambazo huwa zinatuelekeza na kujiandaa vyema kwa ajili ya kipindi hiki tunapojiandaa kuelekea na kutembea na Kristo anapotembea katika safari ya kwenda Kalvario, kisha kuteswa na kusulubiwa na kisha aweze kufufuka kwa ajili yetu.
Phoebe Wangombe, Lookuptv.
Phoebe Wangombe with that story. Now the Elizabeth Glazer Pediatric Foundation, in partnership with the Ministry of Health, has released a report on its pilot-free medical aid to residents in the larger central region. In a function graced by Acting Director General of Health, Dr. Patrick Amoth, the foundation's country director, Dr. Eliud Mwangi, has lauded the ultra-modern medical equipment that greatly has helped to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic, and which he hopes will be replicated with in the entire country, to help disadvantaged populations deal with the major communicable diseases like COVID-19.
It is also to appreciate and...
One other advantage of this project, of course, is the significant investments that have been made in diagnostics, therapeutics, and evidence generation for policy making, which is critical. In this era, every decision that governments make will face serious critique. One, to be able to ensure that the science-based are in sync with modern practices. So any intervention that generates evidence for policy formulation then is critical, because then the policies that are made out of that intervention then is based by science and therefore can be supported and embraced by all.
We integrated the COVID-19 testing and also management in the outpatient, in maternal and neonatal child health clinic, in the TB clinic, in the non-communicable disease clinic, and also right in the community. This is so key because this is the only sustainable way, because it's not possible to have different systems or different structures for every disease. And therefore we thought the best way is really to integrate these services for COVID-19, and it has worked so well through the collaboration and partnership with Kiambu County, and also working with the Ministry of Health, even at the national level. This project also supported the wonder drug, which is tocilizumab, which at the height of COVID was costing 300,000 shillings. And you can imagine how much is that and how many people can afford it in the country. And we were able to avail, or we have been able to avail this treatment in the entire country.
We have really utilized our primary healthcare networks because we are using the community health volunteers to screen
and to test these patients or these people at the community level. So it has also helped us as a county to integrate primary health care into our system and to accelerate it.
But for complex treatments and needed to be made available to the public. So working with other groups, working with the innovators, working to cut the costs that typically are involved with distribution of fairly expensive medicines, ensured that donors could afford the test, could afford the technologies, the medicines in this particular case, so that it's not just a question of what the medicine used to cost before. It's about getting the cost to a level where the innovator can make money, can do business, but at the same time at an accessible price for governments and working with their partners.
Residents in Rongai, Nakuru County are calling upon the government to give them a lasting solution to their water shortage problem, stating that they fear contracting diseases from the water they are forced to buy after the rivers they depend on are on the verge of drying up. This and many other stories on our county wrap. Let's take a look.
Continues to ravage different parts of the country. Rongai residents are scared of being at risk of contracting waterborne diseases from the water they are buying from unknown sources. The MCA Rongai ward says that the rivers dependent for water provision are dried up, hence calling upon the residents to have a little patience as they seek a permanent solution to the dehumanizing effects of drought.
Kubwa sana ni maji, sababu mito ambaye tunategemea sana ilikuwa Rongai, and Rongai is gone. It's not flowing again. Pia Molo River is on its dying bed, inaonekana maji inaisha hivi karibuni. Kwa hivyo tunasema haya sababu tunajua wakati huu mambo ni ngumu kwa mwananchi. Kwa hivyo tunaambia wananchi tutulieni tunapotafuta suluhisho ya mwisho kwa juu ya maji.
And in northeastern part, especially Garissa, a program to intervene and address the challenges that girls are going through in the area has been initiated. The Forum for Africa Women Educationalists, FAWE, WHO, Mastercard Foundation and Kenya Red Cross, among other organizations, have partnered to address this worrying threat of girl child education and enrollment. Speaking after the launch, Naomi Kamitha explains the different circumstances that place girls in this situation.
Our interventions will be focused on community sensitization. We'll also be working with the schools to strengthen systems and through our Tuseme clubs to see that the students have a safe place to voice their challenges and create open dialogue between them and the teachers so that they are able to be supported in good time.
Elsewhere in Isiolo County, youth groups have emerged to clean up Mirire stream that is found behind Isiolo town and to plant trees along its bank, naming the exercise Operation Safisha Mtaa Yako. With the support from other organizations like Red Cross, Isiolo Peace Link, Ewasongiro North Development Authority and Isiolo Municipality, a quarterly review of the operation will be done.
Na nimeshukuru leo kama venye watu wamekuja kwa wingi kusafisha hii Marile. Unajua hii maji itatusaidia kwanza kwa maana kwa saizi kuna janga la njaa. Drought na climate change may affect kila mahali. So hii stream water kuliko ikuwe wasted, if you clean it, it will be a clean water. Wengine watafua nazo, wengine itawasaidia. Nimeshukuru sana REAP and other organization kama Peace Link, Equity for funding this team kazi ya leo ifanyike. Imesaidia sana.
Abigail Shira, Lookuptv.
We are online at Lookuptv across our social media platforms. Where you see some of our conversations this morning are picking up speed online. That is at Lookuptv on Twitter. We asked this morning, whom does the deputy president represent? As a question, very important one, because we already said, the Dr. President William Ruto is the Kenyan leader. I represent the views of, I represent UDA. So that's the question. Talk to us at Lookuptv across all our social media platforms. I am at Kiage Simba. We take us only breather. Once we come back, let's look at exactly what is trending on your day list this morning.
we are at Precious Children's Home here at Dawn Home, and we've come to give out some food donations and have a good time with the children over some lunch.
My name is Jennifer Njeru, the director of this children's home.
Tell us a bit about the children's home. How many kids do you have here?
Okay, I started this home in 2015 with about 6 kids. These kids are orphans, but some of them are orphans, some of them are from those needy families. Yes. And then I get them through the chief, the pastors, and friends who know about them. Yeah, I have 23 right now in the home. Okay, and then I have 5 in high school who are not here with us. You brought us lots of food, we didn't have food, we only had 1 bale of unga ugari, which only takes 3 days. It will be through, but the food that you brought us is a lot. We are so happy, extra happy. And may you continue coming.
So of course, remember 25% of your Lotto ticket goes towards the Lotto Foundation, helps different charities across the nation.
Okay. So thank you so much to our players. We are able to do this because of you, so we are very thankful.
Every time you play Lotto, 25% goes to the Lotto Foundation, which supports our fellow Kenyans through various causes. Thank you for your help. Together, we are changing lives.
Hi, and welcome to Tujenge Home. Your #1 show when it comes to all things architecture, real estate, property development, interior design. You get it right here on Tujenge Home.
When the food is ready.
You want to serve them?
Dinner is served.
Yeah. Let's go.
Beautiful, wonderful, glorious. We are having the show that we share entitled Shepherd Voice.
I'm waiting for you to get me to Kenya. That's what I'm waiting
for you.
God is the source of every blessings that flow into your life.
And I know that God is going to bless you and to do a new thing.
Pray. Pray.
Wenyeji wapo tayari sasa kuzungumza.
Uwe ulipiga azimio ikazimia, uwe uliweka pale ikafaulu, sisi ni Kenya moja.
Wenyeji wapo kipaumbele kuangazia na waathiri na kuwafaidi.
Kenya nikiangalia vizuri, mimi ninafaa niwe Mr. President.
Hali ya maisha.
Kujenga nyumba na watu wanalala njaa huko. Nyumba inasaidia mtu kama analala njaa.
Uchumi.
Some of us are outside because we don't have money to bribe people outside there.
Uongozi.
Mimi nipatiwe hiyo kibarua sasa ya nakada na rais wetu tunayempenda kama asali ya Kitui.
Utamaduni.
Welcome to the Golden Marriage Show.
Somebody said when you see a man and a woman driving in a car and they are talking and smiling,
That's not the wife.
No, that's not the wife.
This is the time when my wife was heavily pregnant.
These people have been in marriage for 28 years without a child.
If a problem has come, let us come out and see how are we going to solve this problem.
I said in my marriage, mke wangu hataona mangumi na makofi na mateke.
Muda hii yote tumekaa kweli 45 years, hajawahi kunichapa.
At Lookuptv across all your social media platforms. I am at Kiage Simba. I'm not alone at this particular moment. Ian Keitany is back so that we can look at what is trending on our newspapers this morning. Ian Keitany, good morning.
A very good morning to you, Simba.
Got to pick up that conversation, though. The responsibilities of the president, of the deputy president, are quite clear. You take direct